So let's see how it will move in the next couple of months. We have the solstice happening in December on the 21st.
We haven't published it yet. I'm going to publish it soon.
It's 23 hours. Yeah.
We're going to do special activation celebration because winter solstice is very important. We'll explain it more in video and in the session, in the event, if you haven't heard about winter solstice. So basically winter solstice in 21st December is equivalent of the new year, basically. It is a proper new year around the sun. Now on the calendar they celebrate the 1st of or the end of December, but the proper one should be 21 because then that's the time where they cross into the next phase of the seasons, basically. So we'll celebrate 21st, and then we have 24 also Christ Mass. That's what we like to say. Christmas basically, but Christ Mass.
So a Crystalline Mass.
Crystalline Mass celebration, like any Christmas, but special activation and celebration. Will have food and it will be open for people to come and join in the garden and celebrate
It's going to be
Christmas.
a Monday. 24 December is a Monday. So it's going to be like a Monday session.
Monday session, but with food.
So let's see what will happen. So Monday session, it will be our gift to you guys. So it will be like a gift session, and you bring your food, like your healthy food. It's good, and we're gonna share that in the garden after.
Yeah, and
we need to fix the lights.
Call what? The Christ.
The Christ consciousness. Who is here on the 24th?
I'm learning from
I think I am. I'm traveling soon, but I think I'll be around.
Okay.
You can also watch online if you are not.
I don't know who I'll be working with. Fingers crossed I'm off.
Okay.
No, I'm off, definitely.
Okay,
I'm back
cool.
on 25th, exactly.
Okay. So it will be like family time here in the house.
So it will be in the evening, right?
Yes, a Monday session, and we follow with time in the garden.
Nice.
Yeah. Cool.
Yes, we go in the garden there,
so much fun.
and then we'll have food celebration after that. So maybe we'll start even a bit earlier than 7:30, maybe 7.
Yeah, or even 6:30. It's
Or
gonna be
6:30.
off day in
It will be
Dubai?
off day 24.
No, it's not an
No,
official.
they never do it.
They
No?
don't?
I mean, we can try to manifest it.
We can maybe we'll start 7. So people they can come who is available can come 6:30, for example, and enjoy the garden.
It's usually a very quiet day, even if, for example, it's not a public holiday.
Everyone
it's
knows
very
it's a celebration. Yes,
So
correct.
people even who are working, they mostly will
It's
be able
not
to
off in Dubai?
No.
I didn't know.
25 can be off.
No, never was. Only Islamic.
No,
So
some of the private company
No,
they
of
do
course,
that.
like if it's like a...
Yeah, private company they do that.
Then yes.
Yeah.
No,
But anyway, the plan will be like, let's say at 7, for example, we can come and gather till we start 7:30 for everyone join. But so we don't start late 8. We'll start 7:30 basically. So if you come early, and we finish early, so 9:30 exactly, and then we put food and we celebrate Christmas, and we can do like a bit of kind of strong celebration for the Christ in the Monday.
Yeah, that
Called
would be
them,
very nice.
So Christ is the crystalline consciousness. So it's the unity consciousness. It's not related to the religion.
Yeah, for the people who don't know us, basically Jesus, as we know, who's the embodiment of the Christ consciousness. Christ consciousness is a universal consciousness, which means crystalline unity consciousness. So the higher frequency of divine into the unity consciousness. So some of this ascended master that we know embodies those kind of energy, and it's available for everyone. So you have something called embodying your higher self and I am presence, and embodying your Christ within. So you can bring the Christ unity consciousness within, because it's us basically.
Like some saints embodied that, Buddha embodied the Christ consciousness. It's the word that has been given. It means Christ Allah in the royal the terms. So some saints have been embodied that, prophets as well. So there are many, not only the Christ or Jesus that has been called the Christ. So yeah, that's the understanding of that term and the energy we are bringing in the session. Let's see what will happen tonight.
And
are we on?
Yes, we are
Oh,
on.
we are on.
And yeah, and people are watching
Hi,
us
guys.
on. Hi everyone watching. So also another point about as we are mentioning, and the Christmas is coming, so let's go into that understanding. In this ascension that we are going through, now that I think everyone in the room understand Ascension, hopefully. I mean, and everyone who's watching us, if you don't know about Ascension, you can Google it right now, or after the video. So as we are ascending, basically our consciousness expanding, and by mean consciousness expanding, we are having more light within our light body. So we're able to become more of ourselves. Now we always hear the word that we are the source, or we're connected with the source, we have infinite energy from the source. But through this our physical structure, we have a lot of limitation. So physical limitation, mind, ego, all these things. With the ascension, we are expanding our energy and our consciousness, and we are literally right now in this ascension, specifically in the years coming, we are embodying more of the Christ unity consciousness, of remembering that we are one and we are connected with the universe. That's why we are mentioning the Christ unity consciousness. So those kind of celebration, and even in our meditation when we do the activation, we do a lot of vortex and portal opening with higher dimension and higher guides, but almost every time we call the Christ unity consciousness the Christ within, because that is what this ascension happening and what humanity going forward right now. Everyone is expanding to embody more of the Christ unity consciousness, which is literally translate is you becoming more of yourself, and you becoming more remembering and connecting with the universe as unity. So today, of course, we're also going to call for the Christ unity consciousness, and when it comes in many ways and many symbols, sometimes many structure. Sometimes it comes like unity seed, the seed of unity, which is a plant, something in the heart. And sometimes it comes as like your higher self coming forward to you. Sometimes it comes like bright light in your light body. Sometimes it comes in the symbol of known symbol like the Christ rose or rose cross. If you've seen it before, it looks like a rose, but it's same time cross. Have you seen it before?
No.
How does it look?
It looks like, let's say, for example, circle, for example, and imagine a cross, but it looks like a rose more than the cross. So it's cross like this, petals in the rose, but at the same time it looks like cross. Some of the ancient, not very ancient time, old times in the Christianity, you find that symbol somewhere in the churches, and it's called the rose cross or cross rose. That another way it sometimes comes. Now some of the Jesuit, if you understand, going a bit more deeper in that understanding, they took that symbol and use it for their own benefit. So sometimes some of them, we know them as not in the highest form, but that's nothing to do with the symbol. The people who's manipulating whatever they want to manipulate, they can manipulate. So don't be discouraged about the symbol itself. Like, for example, the eye of Ra, or the third eye. You know, the eye of Horus, for example. You see it in many other Masonic and so on. Doesn't mean that it's a bad symbol. They just use that. It's still, the symbol is the same. It is the third eye activation, or the pineal gland symbol, or the connection with the higher consciousness. You have to know that during the humanity growth and up and down, some people, they knew some power and they start putting a bad presentation about it. So people, they become afraid. Like even the eye on the dollar, for example, it's a natural or normal symbol, meaning that the eye that sees, but some of the they use it for their own benefit, I would say, and some people start having fear about it. Now, of course, that organization may be bad, but the symbol still is the same symbol, it didn't change. So that's what I'm saying. You might see that symbol comes to you from different ways, and everyone will see differently. Today, of course, we're going to call for the Christ consciousness, because the Christmas is coming, the Christ Crystalline Mass, Christ Mass coming.
So sorry. Yes. Just yesterday, by chance, because I've been in Nepal last month, and I find the swastika, you know. Yes, and I did meditation, and I feel like it's in my third eye. It was very strange for me because after I find in Google, for teacher they have usually in their heart chakra.
In their heart chakra.
And then I remember because in a Russian country, very very old, they was using. They did some drawings on the
on the body, yes.
And also they have also swastika in old time of Russian. So
perfect, good example, yes.
About crest, and it's like
also very connected. You will see that a lot of symbols or a lot of old knowledge, they are very connected, all of them. Now, how culture express it or give different approach, that because of the culture growing and so on, but at the end all of them are connected. People, they have never been connected to ancient Egypt, for example. They found themselves connecting with some of their deities, some of the symbol, the Ankh, for example. People say, I saw the Ankh. I was like, nothing to do with Egypt. I mean, still we are on the DNA, on consciousness, we're connected with the whole earth, right? So all those knowledge belong to all of us, basically. So that's another way to see it also. And so the announcement I was mentioning, going to small announcement, not big. It's very big for us maybe, but it's
I don't know what he's going to say.
She knows. I mentioned to her in the morning, but I didn't tell her that I'm going to say it because I felt like I want to say it. So recently, you know that a lot of upgrade happening, and a lot of people are waking up, and here in the villa, a lot of higher beings are supporting the vortex, and the people that are coming, they're receiving their own gift and or awakening and so on. And we made a couple of new connections. It was very powerful and very pleasant in the same time, of course. As you know, that we've been called to be the way shower for the Ascension. That's why we call Ascension platforms and so on. Ascended Masters are working with us. And we've been called also to work with higher selves. So why that is very important right now, basically, because in this Ascension, one of the main gate we get our own light and our own consciousness is from your higher self. Like, your access to anything in the universe come through your higher self. So if you don't have your higher self gate open, or you don't have that connection, basically you're disconnecting yourself from anything. If you understand what I mean. Like if you said like, oh, there is nothing up, I'm not connected, you're just saying don't connect me, something like this. Your higher self is, one way for you to visualize it is, imagine a heightened, enlightened version of you. In whatever way you want to imagine that. So you imagine like, okay, my enlightened self in the non-physical, already above me, let's say, or around me, let's say. And imagine his heart, or its heart, is your gate to the universe, alright? Cool? I'm coming. And then, once you start establishing that, opening your higher self heart gate to the universe, your light body, when expanded, you need more light and more consciousness. Because the Ascension, we are expanding our consciousness, we're bringing more energy, more light to our light body. That's why how we are upgrading, basically. And has to come through your higher self. That's the way how it comes. So this is one of the drawings. We'll mention it to them. So we start working with higher selves. And one of the way you do declaration, I'm feeling it. You do declaration, a new state to your higher self, that you are ready, you are open, and you are receiving the divine within you, you're receiving the light. And they will take you into a certain space. I call it spiritual court of equity, or the spirit platform, spiritual or soul platform, what you can call it whatever you want.
I think the security, or there is someone outside.
Okay, thank you.
And once you declare,
Miss S, I drop off Karim, but she think.
yes, you. Yeah. She's coming. So, when you do a new declaration, like I am ready, I am open, I'm received, if you've done that from the physical with a conscious understanding that you can bring that light from your higher self and bring that more closer to you, you can embed more light in your light body and you expand and you allow your consciousness to expand by acknowledging you have your gate open and your connection to the universe. That it's a full state of acknowledgement. It's a declaration. And once you do that, some of the higher being comes and execute your new order. So it happened a couple of times. I was not fully conscious about that process till they told us, and I've done it, and I got the confirmation back. One of their higher self visit me in the dream, wake me up at 2 a.m. I was like, there is a noise, and I was like, in the room? No, not in the room, inside. So I went inside, and they said, we are the higher self. And I was like, first, my higher self? I was like, no, we are the higher self of this person. And I was like, what? And they were acknowledging the process that happens, and they were congratulating, and they were asking, and they gave the gift that this need to be happen more with all the people who's awakening to their connection with their higher self and embody that their consciousness. And then Archangel Michael specifically came after a couple of days, full sessions, and I was like I don't know what to say. And he said he's going to trying to remember what he was saying. He's going to foresee or supervise, or he said a word like look off that process. And while we're doing that, he asked us to build up alliance of people integrating their higher self and bringing divine within. And I was like, I said, this is the process of ascension. And I was like, you know what I mean? So basically, people who's, that's why I'm sharing with you guys. People who's committed in this state, they will realize, and you will do your own connection with your higher self, and you will be in an alliance. You build up an alliance with archangels, and more specifically with the Christ unity consciousness being embedded through you, the Christ within, and this will shift the whole timeline of Earth. And I'm still digesting to understand how to actually start bringing this in fruition. But we received it, and we were together, and you are asking, like, you have to build up this alliance. And I was like, of course, with Archangel Michael saying, I was like, yes sir. I have no idea how. And he showed me, of course, they show us a bit of version of like how people, they're becoming pillar of light. We were mentioning this for a while. You guys, pillar of light, you're going to do that. But now we saw a glimpse. And I don't know if you can see it also. It's like something big. It's not only for us. We are just the way shower, guys. You need the team. The team of alliance is what make it happen, right? So, big step ahead.
So you said the higher self. We are the higher self of this person. What person?
Person I was doing session with.
Ah, you were doing a session with
I've done a session. I finished the session.
With a person? I
with
thought
a
you
person.
were sleeping.
Yes, then the same day or the next day, their higher self come and visit me and to acknowledge the process.
So you were doing a session of what with this person?
So basically private session to open up with higher self.
Okay,
I was doing this that so not all the time I know what should I do exactly in this. I know I will do activation, so either the guides or the soul families,
to understand the story.
or align them with the Brotherhood of Light, Sisterhood of Rose. It depends. Sometimes guides, Mother Gaia, their life purpose, some of the activation. That was my first very precise higher self. Actually, I've done one ahead with a person, but this is one was more conscious now. Now I'm become more aware of it. And when I called this and I've done it, it was so powerful. Archangel came and execute the order. Like, okay, this person have done it, the connection established, and they have their new connection with the divine and bring their more consciousness, and they expand, and they executed. And you know when the session finished, like yeah, but okay, you don't know how much it went, right? You cannot tell, you don't know. So the higher self wanted to acknowledge that and to make sure that I knew and the person knew. And then after a while, the higher self also visit that person and acknowledge it too. And then Archangel Michael, who executed in the session, came and to tell me, he's like, you'll continue this and we are going to foresee this. Or he mentioned a word, I cannot remember right now. He's going to supervise, oversee something. I don't remember. Facilitate, something like this. I don't remember. Yeah, because they have authorization, those archangels, to do that kind of opening. And I was like, guys, the ascension is so much taking place right now. Like, this was not the case 1 year ago. That kind of uplift. Yes.
So congratulations.
Thank you. Congratulations for all of us, basically.
Yeah. This is such a beautiful share.
And
Thank
you
you.
as well.
Yeah.
You had the connection as well.
We complement each other.
Yeah.
She was with me in this. So I was doing the session. She was with me, and he was telling me to basically inform her of what's coming. She has her own connection of force with the. But in that session, I was having one dialogue connection with Archangel Michael, and he was mentioning and he's showing me the plan, and he actually gave me a couple of glimpses. It is overwhelming still with some people, their pillar of light growing, and so you're going to support them and they will grow and they're becoming pillar of light and they will becoming part of the alliance. And I was like, alliance. Alliance. I was like,
but that was the truth. This is
So
how
happy.
it is. This is how it is really.
Exactly.
it is, yeah.
And it's all of you opening that as well, because if there is no readiness, there is no opening.
Yeah, basically they will not come if we don't have those pillar of light ready, right?
And we've been mentioning that every few months. But remember when we insisted last year, where the importance of the commitment to continuing the sessions, to meditate, to bring your practice, to be at service or to start to be at service, to be more serious about what you want to do energetically, spiritually, on your path, on your journey. It's because you are those pillars, and in order to anchor those amount of information, it's going through you guys. And those who are outside the house as well, who are dedicating themselves, who are like awakening, going on their journey, being at service, in the way that their expression is guiding them to do. So if you listen to us, those words are a confirmation for you, right? The same way that each time we have groups here in the house, it's a confirmation of what's happening collectively, on the collective. So it's like reading newspapers, you know? Like this is the new era of newspapers. Like you go to group session, you see what's happening, the new downloads of energy, the new information, what is now visible, what is now opened, what is now received, and this is what's happening for the earth. Like anchoring those high frequency energy.
Just to continue that, also the small announcements. We're getting excited and we're getting excited. So the 8th December that we are doing, it's already booked right now, full everyone.
We can have one or two more.
We'll see. Yeah, if you still guys want to join, we can squeeze someone. And they ask like the people who's coming, there will be already those pillar of light is going to be initiated and open up. And but don't worry, he said we have to going to repeat that one more time later. And he Archangel Michael and a couple of other ascended masters, specifically Saint Germain, because he worked with I Am Presence, which is also part of that opening. They mentioned the Christ consciousness. That's why I'm mentioning the Christmas coming also. I need to emphasize on this even further. Once you open up to your higher self and that gate, and you do this new declaration that I am ready, I'm open, I open up my heart to receive basically the seed of unity, you bring more consciousness of your energy and your light body expanded, and you become more connected with the universe, and specifically you receive more Christ self, Christ unity consciousness within, like literally that kind of frequency. And in a couple of meditation before, if you remember, we called the Christ, and he's becoming more present right now, the Christ consciousness and the embodiment of the Christ that we know, for example, Jesus. And he's more present right now around the earth in this ascension. So everyone can, if you feel the calling, you can bring that Christ consciousness within, and you connect with Jesus basically if you want also. And it will be part of, so all these are connected. It will be part of you connecting with your higher self. It will be part of you bringing more consciousness with the quality of the Christ consciousness within. And it will be part of you connecting with something called I Am Presence, which can be seen as a spark of light coming through. And Saint Germain basically is the guardian of the violet flame who prepare the gate to receive the Christ consciousness. See how all of them connected? And I was like, I was like, what?
So we can do the violet flame meditation again.
Well, we'll see. Last time we've done that,
I'm
remember?
asking for more than 1 year.
Yeah.
This is not the...
We've done it last time.
He hears me, but you don't hear me.
Maybe on Saturday then.
Maybe we'll see. And Saturday we'll continue with that.
No, just a little. I love calling him.
But last time when we were calling the Christ consciousness, if you remember, I was preparing to connect with the Christ consciousness because we had that opening in Egypt. For the people who joined us, so they called us. We went to some place. Some deity came like, now you go, and my love came like, it was an amazing experience. We're sitting there and they called me, go up, and I was like, what's up? We are inside the temple.
In Hathor temple.
In Hathor temple, yes. Everyone meditating. We're having, and Asil was calling archangels and a lot of things. And I went up and Mathilde was vibrating and people around vibrating, and she came to me, it's like, bring the Christ consciousness from the astral realm now. And I was like, now? I have no idea what to do even. I sat there, like, okay, I will do what I know. I open up my diamond light body and see what will happen. I was opening the diamond light body, and the beam there and the archangel, they just pushed me all the way up, and I was flown somewhere. I reached to a realm around the earth, basically, where they said, welcome, this is Christ consciousness. Agreed. Okay. And they connect with me in a certain way and came back. And I opened and everyone started chanting, and it was wow. In Egypt, that was. And then they asked me that open up the channel, and everyone started opening his channel, and the Christ consciousness came through all the channels and spread, and then they sent it to the children specifically. So the new children, the rainbow crystal children, they will carry the seed of unity of the Christ consciousness already from their childhood. And it was like, can you see this timelines happening? You know what I mean? Like the new children generation already awaken, fully embodying the unity in their heart.
Like
and
masters.
it was wow. Yeah. So it's a bit of encouragement for all of us and for you to know how the ascension is taking place right now and what kind of quality of energy is coming through and how that process happening. And yes, the timeline of the ascension being progressing it will be amazing.
So,
all right.
So you were working with people in Egypt.
Mm-hmm.
We were in a full retreat.
Full retreat with Ascension platform. Same
Yeah.
here.
So us two
We
with
hosted.
Who
Azil.
was guiding? Who was like the?
We hosted Mathilde and I, Nada and Asil, four of us,
Yeah.
hosting a galactic retreat. We've been called to do this peace activation and activation for the pyramid.
And on the sacred site in Egypt.
On the sacred site.
Reactivating
Oh, wow.
the grid of the sacred site and reconnecting.
Yeah,
So
and
it was
the
a lot of
archangels.
grid programming work.
Yeah.
And at the retreat it was channeling, channel opening or tuning for the participants.
I realized we
They were
need to
like,
mention it because not everyone knew about it.
3 already here. Yeah.
So
We went to Lebanon as well.
and Asil.
Where did you work in Lebanon?
So we have the next calling after that. Even from the Archangel, they said
Yeah.
you continue that work with the peace activation into the Middle East, and they ask specifically to go certain places in Lebanon,
Where in
in
Lebanon?
the city, the Saint Valley,
The Valley of
the Valley of the Saints,
Yeah.
Valley of Saints,
Saint Rita Place,
Saint Rita Place,
Mother Mary Place,
Mother Mary Place, Marsharbel, like very specific
Yeah,
places,
yeah.
and they ask
to
us to
reconnect
connect.
the saints' energy and to reopen the place that were controlled or went
Old
into
controls that was
LoveLight,
controlling
to
that
reopen
area,
this area where
being
the
removed
saints
and reestablish the connection between them.
can reopen.
So like really putting it at the present moment.
Yeah.
Reprogramming the
To now,
places,
because
yeah.
those
Same in
places.
Jordan and
frequencies,
same in Syria.
Yes. And Archangel, they were working specifically in a certain area to connect them and bring in new energy and new light. And then we went also to Syria, in Damascus, to certain places.
So you've done those places already in
Yes.
Lebanon? Ah, it's done.
It's
Done.
Ah.
And then we went to
Syria
Jordan,
and Amman.
Petra, ancient Petra, old Petra, little Petra also, some other star connection and some. And then we came back.
But you didn't do any work here?
And then we've
Any
done here.
similar kind of work
In
here?
Dubai? In Dubai, it's not
Everything.
places, it's the house being a vortex in Dubai.
So
this one.
But we didn't
in
do
Dubai,
places.
Any
We
other
did Abu
places?
Dhabi, we opened Abu Dhabi,
Ah.
and then whomever is coming in the house, they get activated, and wherever they go in Dubai, they are anchoring those energies. So in Ras Al Khaimah, Alain, Abu Dhabi, they are doing it. Or like
Okay.
just in opening their energy or their light body wherever they are, and being at service.
So the only
So we don't need to move.
non-connected vortex in Dubai
Just start there.
was here because we've been asked a few years ago to build up this crystal grid and open the vortex, and I started the Unity project at that time. When my guy said, you have to open a vortex. And the vortex was just opening at that time till it grows, and now it's full on. Yeah.
This trip to Lebanon, was that on the same trip to Egypt?
It was
After.
after. So we
Directly
left
after.
for more than
We
4
left
weeks.
You were
Egypt.
about 3 weeks away.
Yeah, that was the 3 weeks
4
away.
weeks actually, yeah.
I was counting on the day.
Yeah, wait.
Correct. That was the 3
It's so
weeks.
sweet. Yes, and directly after to Lebanon, it was like a military program and schedule.
We were
So
like full on, travel, wake up, go the places, meditate,
mission.
open channels,
activating,
grab, no one
then
sees,
going
and go back again. Then another one, cars. So
It's like, yeah, then plane, car again, almost train, scuba diving, whatever, like horse.
007.
We already have horses.
Which month you go?
Huh?
What month you go?
October and November.
October, November.
Mid-October to mid-November. There will be one more person coming as well. There is also
All
Erika.
right, we're going to start.
Yes.
If
Bye
you are
guys,
interested,
see you.
guys, with more details, contact us directly. We can send you webinars, videos for more further understanding.
Yeah.
And you want to
Erika
work
is
further with
coming as
this,
well.
we are available. Much
Yeah,
love to
so
you.
she will come.
Till the next time.